We're going to be talking about friendships. We're going to be talking about friendships. This is very informal. Please do not expect my lives to sound like a classroom. This is simply girl chat. This is womanhood talk. This is all things woman. And I'm going to be talking about friendships today. So I'm going to give opportunity for some people to come on. So I'm not just sitting here talking to myself, hopefully. I do understand it's midday, so some people might be at work or whatever you're busy with, but you can always go back and look at the replay. So I'm going to see if a couple of you come on. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. It's over 1,400 of you here now on this channel, and I am extremely happy that you are here. Yeah, I just got in my mind to talk about friendships today because some people's idea of what a friendship is absolutely crazy to me. So I feel like I want to speak on that today. And I can tell you that the older you get, the harder it is to, quote, make friends. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit and get you guys' opinions on different things and see if you have a lot of friendships and how you maintain them and all that kind of stuff, especially if you're over the age of 25. You know, when we were in school, it was easy to make friends. Hey, Lady La, or LAA. You pronounce it or you say La. Hello. So yeah, like I was saying, in school, you know, it was easy to make friends because, you know, you're in school. You have 12 years, 4 years at a time to make friends. And now, you know, when you're over the age of 25, unless you're in a work environment, and even after you're in the work environment, you're not really making friends. You're making associates. La. All right. Hello. So yes, this live is about friendships. Can we have them? Can we make new friendships after a certain age, specifically after the age of 25, after you've left school, college? Is it possible to really make authentic friendships with women? My opinion here, it's all of this is my opinion. And long story short, I do believe you can make friendships. However, you have to be a lot more strategic as you get older. It's no longer, girl, your outfit is cute. Oh, you know, me and you, we're in the same class together. You know, when you were in middle school and elementary school and high school, it's easier to make friends because you have that common interest. You're in school. If you're sitting in the classroom with somebody 8 hours a day, 1 period, 2 period at a time, you have time to make that friendship. And that's the reason why a lot of people have friends for 20 and 30 years because they've been blessed to maintain those friendships during high school. But if you no longer have those friendships, and now let's say you're 25, 30 years old and you desire to have friendships with other women, but because of the nature of how things are now, a lot of women are so hostile and they distrust women so much that it's kind of hard to get your foot in the door when it comes to opening up relationships with other women. And it's not just to say that we're only going to be friends with women. You can be friends with men too. I believe in having a diversity of friends. Even my daughter, she's 16, and a lot of her friends are boys. And I think it has a lot to do with her interests. She's into anime and all that kind of stuff. But I would never tell her that you can only be friends with girls. I don't think it's healthy. You have to have the masculine and the feminine dynamic. But this, again, like I said, this live, it's not going to be formal. This is girl talk, making friends. I have a few good friends still from high school, but what I notice is that as we get older, it's kind of like we drift apart, and people will constantly throw that line at you. And y'all, you tell me what you think about this. They'll say, "Oh, I miss you," but never make occasion to see you. They'll text you, "Hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you." But then the moment you try to plan something, it's like, "Okay, I got to see my schedule." Like, what is that about? I don't understand. To me, it's like when you're a friend, you make time for what's important to you. And what happens with that is a lot of us, we get tired of chasing people down and trying to plan something and do something and being the one person that's always trying to make occasion for it, that we just give up. A lot of friendships are one-sided. where there's one person who is more eager to see the other person than the other, and you begin to feel like, why do I have to be the one to initiate this? If you're my friend and you say you miss me, why aren't you making room to make things for us to do too? You know what I mean? And then you have those friends that have their whole lives centered around the men in their lives at the moment. Now, on this channel, we do not decenter men. I am married, I've been married for 18 years. So we don't decenter men, we love men, and we have no problem with elevating our relationships and deeming them as important. But there's something about having a sisterhood that is also important. You can't completely neglect healthy friendships because your man, he might be your friend, but he's not a woman. And I know from experience that sometimes I try to talk to my husband like he's a female and try to get him to understand. And while he's loving, he's encouraging, sometimes he's trying to fix the problem or trying to get me to think a certain way when honestly I just want a listening ear. I want somebody who will say, "Yeah, girl, I understand," but I'm not going to get that from him. That's where the importance of those friendships come in. So, what can we do to build friendships after the age of 25, after you left school? Well, I can say that being in a work environment, if you're in a workplace, it's good to try to have associates that you can talk to. But in the workplace, it's a little bit tricky because you guys are there for the same interest of money. And if you're there in the workplace and the common denominator is the money, then it's like, how close can you get? Because when money is involved, you don't want to do anything that's going to mess that up, as in get too close to somebody and get too personal with them. I've witnessed many people start treating their coworkers like their friends, and then when they had a falling out, the work environment got very weird. It's like they brought their personal issues into the work environment, and now it's distracting not just them, but everybody. I've seen situations where people have gotten fired because of relationships that were built up in the workplace. I've I've seen relationships be destroyed because of things going on within the workplace. So that's kind of tricky how to navigate that too. It's like you want to be friendly. Like that's my thing in the workplace. Everybody. But I don't call anybody in my workplace my friend. Let's see what la. I no longer have those old friendships from high school. I find good friendships from those that are entrepreneurs. I meet good women from paying for a service, supporting them in something. And see things like that, and I wholeheartedly agree. It's like as you move on to the next level in your womanhood, you said entrepreneurship. I myself am an entrepreneur too. While I still work, I have my own little business too, and I'm an author. So I understand that networking allows you the opportunity to meet women that are on your same level, and you guys can kind of glean off one another. Not only can you help each other in business to grow, but you can also help each other as you get to know each other more and you share that common goal of growing in business. You begin to grow as just women in general, and you vibe off of one another with things that they're doing. It encourages you, and what you do encourage them. So I wholeheartedly agree. Being a part of something that is like, entrepreneurial, business, education, even if it's a hobby, many people have told me that they've met a lot of people in their yoga classes and Zumba classes. And, so being in environments, placing yourself in environments where you can meet women who share the same interests as you and have a leveled up mentality where they want to do something in life. That is one great way to meet women after you get out of that high school, college environment. I so agree with you, La. And I've been looking to, and that's part of the reason why I built this community here, this YouTube channel, to foster a sense of community where women can come and find like-minded women who are not just about the superficial things of womanhood, but actually want to dive deeper and grow as women. So I absolutely love that. You kind of, La, you ahead of me because I was getting to that point, but I'm glad you got me to it now. So that's wonderful. So yes, look for ways to be around women who share the same interests as you or have a leveled up, elevated mindset like you. the thing about trying to hold on to those relationships from high school, from college, people we knew back in the day, is that sometimes if they're not moving forward, it will hold you back as a woman. I have a friend and I love her dearly, but sometimes she'll talk to me about things that happened in high school like it happened the other day. Bear in mind, my oldest child is 18 years old. I'm in my 30s now. I'm in my late 30s. I vaguely remember some of the things from high school, and the things that I do remember, I don't think about. She even asked me if I told my dad about some situation that I did, something I shouldn't have been doing when I was younger. And I'm like, yeah, he knows. Like, who cares? Whatever. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, talk about things from prom and all that. And I'm just like, I'm sitting up here working, building a whole business. I haven't even told her about my YouTube channel because, she'll find out. But it's like there's other things that we could be talking about besides what happened 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that. It's like they just don't move forward, or they're accustomed to the old version of how you used to be. They're accustomed to the 18-year-old you, the 20-year-old you, the 25-year-old you. They're accustomed to you when you were in a relationship that wasn't healthy and you tolerated any and everything, and they still talk to you like you're that kind of woman, but they don't realize that you've changed. And that's another issue that kind of stops women from hanging on to the old relationships. Change. When you develop in your mindset and mature, people from your past, sometimes they can't see it, or they just don't want to see it. They want to see you as many of us, and I discussed it on this channel. We weren't as confident as young women or as teenagers. We weren't that confident. We're very mousy, very quiet, very unsure of ourselves. But when you develop confidence and you develop that awareness, and you develop in your faith and your spirituality, and you become assured of who you are as a woman, many people will begin to see that you are, they'll think you're acting different. They don't know how to receive you. They're used to the low self-esteem you. They're used to the needy you. They're used to the you that was desperate for them. And when you become more confident in yourself as a woman and you're not so desperate for them, sometimes your friendship suffers because they are expecting you to chase behind them. And I'll be honest with you, I used to be that person where not just with friends, but with family too. Holiday season, we don't really do the holidays anymore. Certain holidays for certain spiritual reasons, but when the holidays used to come around, I live in a different state, not that far from where my other family is, right across the river. They can get over here if they want to. But I used to be the kind of person that would chase people down. Like, I'm texting 2 weeks ahead of time, hey, are you going to be at this party? Hey, are you going to be at my dinner? Hey, are you going to be here? And kind of like having to chase behind them to make sure they're going to be there. I would be the friend that's like, okay, we plan this vacation. You're going to be here. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. And somewhere along the lines, as I matured, it's like I start realizing if this is important to them as much as they are important to me, I don't have to do this much chasing. It's like I begin to value my time and value myself so much so that I stop chasing. I start letting things come to me naturally as a woman. I start letting people gravitate to me. I tell my daughter this often because she, like I said, she's into anime and she's girly, but she's not like, my daughter's 16, but she's not into wearing lace fronts and doing makeup, all that. Like, she wears gloss. It's very like simple with her. Beautiful. And of course I'm going to say that because that's my daughter. But she is into anime and graphic design and art and all that stuff. And because of that, she has some girls that are more, she's like the smarts, this really smart girl, but all the other stuff isn't really there like that yet. Like, she doesn't care about, like, she cares about how she looks, but she's not like a fashionista. She's more into education and learning and creativity and all of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But she's soft spoken and she carries herself with manners and it's her character. And I tell you guys this because I tell her that even though you might be the girl who, because of course when you're smart, you get girls that say little things, oh, you're teacher's pet, you're this, you're that. And there are a lot of smart kids that gravitate to her. I told her, I said, you will find your tribe. You will find the people that are meant to be around you. Don't ever feel like you need to change who you are in order to fit in with a particular type of people. And as women, if we are naturally more feminine, more girly, more community oriented, like we like to be a girl's girl, be around other women, we can't try to dumb ourselves down or scale ourselves back in order to be around women who are doing superficial things. I like what La brought up about entrepreneurial spirit. While every woman's lot in life is not to be an entrepreneur, every woman's lot in life is not to be a business owner, but as a feminine woman, and I have said this in my other videos, we should be resourceful. And I don't believe that one income, just going to punch somebody's time clock, is your only option. I think you should always be doing something that's just for yourself, something that you own and maintain for yourself. We can't spend so much of our time building up somebody else's dream that we neglect our own. But I digress. But as I was telling her, your tribe will find you. And that's another way that we can also start to foster relationships too, by allowing people to come to us, not appearing so needy. Sometimes when you're so needy for friendships, you actually do the opposite. You repel people because they're looking at you like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, I worked with a girl. She was new. She only been at the job for like a month. And she would insert herself into different conversations that I was having with different coworkers that I've been there with for like a year and a half, and just start talking and saying, inviting herself to different things that we were doing. And I'm just like, I'm not mean. I'm never mean to anybody. But I was thrown off, and I just looked at her like, oh, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, girl, you are not going nowhere with me. What are you talking about? We don't even talk. What? And it's not that I didn't want her. It's just how she was going about it. It seemed very creepy. You don't really know me and you're inviting yourself to this. It's not that, like, she was like, oh, this sounds nice. Like, that sounds like, or bringing up her own experience and then inviting herself that way. She was actually just like trying to act like she's been a part of it the whole time, if that makes sense. And I'm not the type of woman that's about clicks, because I know that can appear clicky. No, it's about not being the type of woman that feels like you need to force yourself on other people. See, me in that kind of situation, because I've been in many work environments, I've been the new girl, I've been the new person, and I've been in situations where I'll see the group of the coworkers over there talking. I'll be standing or sitting at my computer doing my work, ask them something about work, and see if I really wanted to know what they were talking about, I would, like, excuse me, can I ask you about this? So I'll ask them a work related question, and then I'll kind of, and I'm like, oh, my battery's about to die. Goodness. All right. I'm going to wrap this up soon, but I should have charged my phone. But like I was saying, I was the girl that, okay, I would see the coworkers talking. I would go over and ask them something work related, and then kind of pick up on what they're talking about and say, oh, that sounds interesting. Do you know this? Or do you know that? And then kind of invite myself that way, and then we'll all start talking. It says, what do you think when these old friends try to come back in your life? When old friends try to come back in your life, so my first question would be, why are they not in your life anymore? So is it that you guys just drifted away, or is it that there was a reason they're no longer in your life now? Because that matters. I know some relationships you just drift away. Like me and my friend of 20 years, we drifted away for like a year and a half. And it wasn't nothing she did, nothing I did. It's just life was happening. But we got back together and it was just like the next day. So that would really depend on the reason why they're not in your life. Did you have a falling out? Or was there was there some kind of drama? Or did you guys just drift away? So that makes a difference to me. But yeah, my phone is at 20%. I tell you, every time you're trying to do something, the enemy get in the way. I'm going to have to continue this live later because I have to charge my phone. But think about, some ways that you can try to cultivate relationships later on in life. It says, I relocated. They were unhappy about me leveling up. Well, if they were unhappy about you leveling up back then, and I'm assuming that you are in a better place than what you were before, I'm not sure, and this is my opinion, you do with this what you want, but I think we have to use wisdom. If they were upset about you moving forward in life back then, and now you're in a place where you've moved up, you might be inviting somebody into your life that will be envious of where you are. And you have to ask yourself, do you really want to deal with that kind of energy? Do you really want to deal with somebody that's going to be envying you and possibly taking little pot shots at what you have, you know, achieved in your life? I mean, if they were upset about you relocating, I get that because it's like, oh, you're moving, that kind of thing. But you said unhappy about me leveling up. That's kind of like a loaded type of statement. Like if they didn't want to see you doing better, like if you were working in retail, and I'm not knocking it, I'm just using an example. You're working in retail and now you own a conglomerate. How do you think they'll receive that? Like, do you think they'll be able to handle your level of success? Because that's a thing too. All right. I tell you, I have so much to say. This live, I'm going to pick this live up at 3:30. Okay? I'm going to do a part 2 to this live. So if you're here now and you happen to catch the replay between now and then, just know I'm going to come back on here about 3:30 to continue on with this live, okay? Because I have to charge my phone and I'll have to get my kids and they got to be able to get in contact with me and all that good stuff. All right? But like and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't already done so, and leave your comments below. I'll see you back here at 3:30. All right? Take care.